Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, Nate the Commie Catcher's up in this bitch. And I'm gonna tell y'all a different kind of story today, because ain't shit been happening in the towing world. But I need you guys to click on this link I'm gonna provide. Go to this website. It's a wake skater website. On there, you're gonna scroll down to where you see Pro Wake Skater. There's gonna be number 1 bubble, number 2 bubble, number 3 bubble. You're gonna scroll down where you see Jake Ramsdell. You're gonna click the number 1 bubble. You're gonna scroll to the bottom of the page. You're gonna click submit. That casts your vote for Jake Ramsdell as the number 1 wake skater of the year, or Pro Wake Skater of the year. And that dude deserves it. He's been doing shit his whole life. He lived down the lake out here when he was in Ohio. Now he's out in Florida skating professionally all year round. But he's living his fucking dream, and he made it out of Ohio and went to go do what he wanted to do with his life, and he's achieving it. He's succeeding, and he's kicking ass. So y'all need to go help him out. If you don't mind, I'd appreciate it, and so would he. But in honor of getting you guys to try to go do that, if you guys do that for me, I'm going to tell you a little story about me and Jake Ramsdell when we was kids. Young teenagers. My first set of titties I got to see because of Jake Ramsdell, and that's the story I'm going to tell y'all. But if y'all going to listen to the story, you got to go do what I'm telling you afterwards, alright? Alright, so we're probably, I want to say middle school, maybe end of middle school, towards the end of middle school, because I think I got laid finally or something. Had to be 7th, 8th grade, because I finally got laid in the 8th grade. So it was before that, because I ain't never seen no titties. Alright, I think I maybe kissed a chick or something, that was about it. So I'm going over to Jake Ramsdell's house to hang out. He lived with his grandparents back then. He lived with them in Chippewa Lake, Ohio, where they got a lake and they got all this shit. And he's fucking all him and everybody in Chippewa is big on wake skating and skiing and all that shit. But I went over there because we used to skateboard together quite a bit. But Jake ain't just good at wake skating. He can do damn near anything on a board. And that motherfucker is determined and has got drive, so that's why you need to vote for him. Anyways, we're over there at his grandparents' house. We're sitting down in the basement. Jake says, dude, we need to try to get some chicks, because that's what Jake was about back then. Jake wanted to hang out with the ladies, and Jake had game, and Jake had ladies all over the place that he could hit up, because everybody knew Jake. Me, not so much. I lived out in, like, the middle of bumfuck nowhere where maybe there's 1 or 2 women. So I go over to Chippewa and I hang out, because it's not that big of an area. You could pretty much wander the whole neighborhood skateboarding and shit. And everybody out there is doing that. So we're sitting in the basement anyways. Jake says, women. We got to see some women. We got to go hang out with some women. I said, Jake, I ain't never seen titties before. He said, you ain't never seen titties before? I said, no, like maybe in a magazine or something, but I ain't never seen no real titties before. And Jake goes, Nate, tonight you are going to see your first set of titties. And he said that without any plans in the fucking world or any idea on how to do that. He was just determined to be the man that got me to see my first set of tits. So it's late at night. We decide we're going to sneak out. Go wander the neighborhood in the dark. And in Chippewa, there's like a line of docks where everybody parks their boats and shit. And back then, a lot of kids would hang out on their parents' boats or grandparents' boats at night. All their friends sitting around on the boats. Well, me and Jake's walking around, and we hear some hooting and hollering. And Jake says, dude, let's go see what's going on over there. And I was always kind of like timid, like I didn't want to get in no trouble or nothing. I mean, we had some run-ins with the sheriffs. I wasn't big on getting fucked up or doing nothing. Besides skateboarding. So I'm like, I don't know, Jake. I don't know them fucking people. Jake says, it'll be fine, come on. So we walk over there, and Jake just so happens to know this boat lined with like 3 or 4 fucking women. And I'm like, well, goddamn, all right then. Now, I wasn't too convinced I was going to see titties. I was just like, fuck, this is cool. I actually get to hang out with some women. It's me and my buddy Jake, and it's a bunch of women. And Sean might have been there. I can't remember for sure. I don't think he was, though. So we go out there on this boat. Jake initiates a game of truth or dare. Now, I ain't playing no fucking truth or dare. Because if you dare me to do something nuts like jump in the water or some crazy shit like that, I'm probably not going to do it. So it gets to Jake's turn to call a dare. And Jake says, I dare all of you to show your titties. And I'm like, that is a fucking ballsy move. And they said, hell no, we're not going to do that unless you do something crazy. We want you to go ding-dong ditch that house there across the street, butt-ass naked, before that. And I'm thinking, fuck me, this ain't gonna happen. But then Jake turns to me. He says, you're gonna see some titties tonight. And I'm like, it's alright, man, you ain't gotta do it. He's like, no, you're seeing your first set of titties tonight. And this man stands up on his boat. Not his boat, the chick's boat. And he walks down this dock. And you see him get to the end. You can see his shadow, like the outline of him. You can't really see him too well because it's really dark. And you see him doing this, like taking his clothes off and just getting ready. And then he disappears for a minute in the pitch black. Next thing you see is that motherfucker's naked ass underneath the street light running across the fucking, like, a public road up to this house. He gets up on the steps, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm like, not quietly, maybe they're sleeping. Nope, this motherfucker, bam, 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 butt ass naked, and then fucking dives into the ditch, or the bushes right next to the fucking house, butt naked, balls first, just doesn't even fucking, like, think about the fact that you might catch a pecker on something, because all he's focused on is getting me to see my first set of titties. Well, people come out, look around, go back in the house. Jake comes back to, you see him come back, you see him hit where you can see his shadow, and you see him doing this thing, putting his shit back on, comes walking down the dock, gets on the boat, and says, boobs. And everybody's busting up laughing, because that's the funniest fucking thing you've ever seen. But they fucking were good on their word and showed their titties, and that's the first time that the comic catcher ever seen a set of tits in his entire life because of that boy Jake Ramsdell. So goddamn it, you need to go fucking vote for that boy because he's out doing big things and he's a good dude and he does whatever he can to help his friends out. Do it because of that story, because that is a great story. If you ain't gonna vote for him over the wake skating stuff because you don't know, just vote for him on that story and on my word that motherfucker deserves it. Alright? I love yous. Commie catcher out.